Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start the second section of the conference today. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dimitris Apokis. I'm a journalist for the public television. I served in Washington, D.C. as a correspondent for more than a decade for the public television also. Our subject for this topic is investment and innovation in coastal development. The idea is to start with a presentation from Mr. Lambru from the Athens Stock Exchange about investment, and then to proceed with other presentations, taking advantage of the introductory presentation from Mr. Lambru. So, Mr. Lambru. He will speak in Greek because he prepared his presentation in Greek language, and it's going to be difficult for him right now to change it at the last minute and make the whole thing in English. I can help also with some difficulties in English if you want, and in Chinese we have the...
Θα πνέξει η κάμερα, πρέπει εδώ να κάτσει. Εγώ δεν έχω τώρα να πω κάτι.
Το θέμα είναι να ακούγεται, δεν είναι.
Φίλες και φίλοι, καλησπέρα σας. Καταρχήν θα ήθελα να συγχαρώ την Οργανωτική Επιτροπή για την διοργάνωση του σεμιναρίου αυτού, να ευχηθώ καλά αποτελέσματα σε Κίνα και Ελλάδα όλης αυτής της δραστηριότητας που θα αναπτυχθεί σε αυτό το σεμινάριο, και τέλος να ευχαριστήσουμε για τη συμμετοχή μας σε αυτό το σεμινάριο.
首先，我要感谢主办单位呢，主办了这样子这么好的一个会议，让我们呢有机会呢共同的讨论，互相呢了解，有更好的能够追求更多的进步。而且我也非常的感谢呢各位参加本次会议的朋友们来到这里。
Όταν λάβαμε την πρόσκληση για τη συμμετοχή στο σεμινάριο αυτό, προβληματιστήκαμε πώς θα προσεγγίσουμε το θέμα. Σκεφτήκαμε λοιπόν, για να χαράξουμε την πορεία αυτής της αρχικής τοποθέτησης, να πάρουμε στίγμα από 3 σημεία. Το πρώτο είναι από πού προερχόμαστε.
收到邀请的时候呢，我也是挺纳闷的，我应该准备些什么材料？所以呢，我现在有3点呢，想要在这边呢提出来。
Από πού ερχόμαστε? Από το χρηματιστήριο, από τις αγορές.
所以第一呢，是我们呢是这个从股票市场开始。
Από πού δεχθήκαμε την πρόσκληση? Από το Ελληνοκινεζικό Κέντρο Επιχειρηματικότητας.
然后我也是收到了西中商会的邀请呢这方面。
Ποιο είναι το πλαίσιο αυτής της εκδήλωσης? Είναι στο πλαίσιο της μεγάλης διοργάνωσης των Ποσειδονίων του 2014.
然后大的那个组织的架构呢是这次的波塞冬国际海事会议。
Άρα οι λέξεις κλειδιά είναι χρηματοδότηση, Κίνα και ναυτιλία.
所以呢我发现了3个主题，一个就是那个金钱的来源，另外一个呢是中国，然后呢是海事方面，这3部分。
Αρχικά θα αναλύσουμε τις λύσεις και τα εργαλεία χρηματοδότησης που παρέχονται από το χρηματιστήριο.
那首先呢，我们要讨论的是来自股市方面的这个财务方面的问题。
Και αυτά, το γενικό περιβάλλον χρηματοδότησης, θα το εφαρμόσουμε σε 2 ειδικές περιπτώσεις. Στην περίπτωση της Κίνας, της πιθανής συνεργασίας με την Κίνα, και το δεύτερο είναι στην περίπτωση της ναυτιλίας, χρηματοδότηση ναυτιλιακών έργων.
所以呢，关于财务方面呢，股市方面呢，这方面的我们呢，可以分为2个小部分，一个是中国方面，一个是关于海事方面的。
Ποιο είναι το ζητούμενο της περίοδου? Το ζητούμενο της περίοδου είναι ανάκαμψη και ανάπτυξη της οικονομίας.
那我们呢现在讨论的这个2个时期的点呢，是怎么样的让呢经济呢能够更提升，然后呢跨越这个经济的障碍。
Για ανάπτυξη σήμερα αλλά και αύριο. Βιώσιμη ανάπτυξη δηλαδή.
而且呢，我们还要做一个有远见的很久的、长远的这个样子的发展。
Το μοντέλο χρηματοδότησης που προτείνουμε είναι απλό και κυρίως αναγνωρίσιμο από τη διεθνή επενδυτική κοινότητα.
我们呢所要提出的这个投资方面呢，是由国际的单位所认证的，国际的相关单位所认证的。
Το μοντέλο αυτό πρέπει να λαμβάνει υπόψη του τα χαρακτηριστικά της περίοδου, αλλά και τα χαρακτηριστικά των επιχειρήσεων και της οικονομίας στην οποία προτείνεται.
What in the periodo que letteros economy? 就是呢，这要分为2个点，一个是时期的，然后一个是看什么样的经济状况。
Αυτό που αναδείχθηκε από την πρόσφατη κρίση είναι η απέτηση για αλλαγή παραγωγικού και αναπτυξιακού μοντέλου.
我们现在呢是要看就是它的改变，还有它的生产，来paragogiki και αναπτυξιακή还有发展的模式。
The production and the development model have to be changed in order to be supported by the new financial methods and tools.
所以我们要求就是要改变呢发展的模式等等，才能够有这样子的经济方面的支柱。
This change of the production and the development tool have to be supported by capital that will have a better result, but at the same time has a higher risk. This capital, this patient capital, is necessary to support the change of the production and the development model that is necessary for our case. At the same time, it is necessary the companies have to be supported by the issuance of debt, and this debt will be very attractive to foreign investors. The two above tools, the equity and the debt, have to be combined with the banking loans, because the loans provide the necessary leverage that it is needed for the very, very strong and competitive mainly and combination of the three ingredients for a strong financing tool. In our case, in the stock exchange, by using the three ingredients, the equity, the debt, and the banking loans, we can form different financing tools. As for example, the project bonds, the project financing tools, the listed funds that will be listed in the exchange in order to support mainly startup companies, and finally, the privatization process of very interesting public companies. By using all the above approach, we can apply this approach to a possible cooperation with China. The first idea that we have discussed with the Shenzhen Stock Exchange is the issuance of two ETFs. The first ETF will be listed in Athens Exchange and this ETF will be comprised by the Chinese companies and will give the opportunity to local, the Greek and European and global investors to get access by using this tool to the Chinese economy. The second ETF will be listed in the Shenzhen Stock Exchange and will give the opportunity to the Chinese people, to the Chinese investment community to get access to the big capitalization companies of the Greek economy. Another, I think, interesting idea is to Greek companies under privatization will be listed in the exchange by issuing debt or capital, and by the process of listing in the exchange, local people will get access to a winning process of this privatization. This process will increase the social acceptance that it is very, very needed for a successful privatization process. Another idea is the real estate funds that will be listed in the exchange in order to give to the international community the opportunity to get access to the devalued asset of Greek economy. Finally, we have prepared a solution that will try to combine the competence of the two sides. First of all, there are stated needs of the Greek-owned shipping companies for capital in order to invest, to build new ships. The second given issue is the liquidity that it is proven in the Chinese financial system. The third is the capability of the Chinese yards to build new ships. And finally, there are two investing communities, the Athens Stock Exchange and the Chinese exchange, Shenzhen, as for example, investing communities, in order to support this approach. And the idea is the Greek ship owners to issue equity or debt in order to list their shares and bonds to the two local stock exchanges in order to get financing to build new fuel efficient, as for example, vessels. Finally, we will try to investigate the possibilities for cooperation in the shipping sector. The financing capabilities that at this point of time it is available from our organization. We are here to support the shipping sector in rough seas and the calm seas. We are here from the last years in order to support any ideas for financing the shipping sector. At this point of time, we are preparing a proposal in order to form a financial index that will be comprised by the Greek-owned shipping companies that are listed on abroad, on foreign exchanges in New York, in London, in Nasdaq, New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange. By the formation of this index, we will give the opportunity to the Greek and international investing communities to follow and to monitor the Greek shipping companies. As a second step, we will form an exchange-traded fund that will follow this index. Finally, we have set up a framework for the listing of the shipping companies, and we are preparing some ideas in order to set up a freight derivatives market that will give the opportunity for hedging in the ship, in the vessels and in the freight market. I think that this approach, we change the language on the air. I think that this change accelerate the process of the translation, and this initial speech will set the environment in order to have a more vivid discussion in a later stage. I pass the floor to Dimitris in order to continue with more questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the... I think this was a very good introduction to the investment part of the cooperation between China and Greece. Taking advantage of the discussion of the first panel at the first sections, I think this section and the discussion in this section will be very useful because it was clear from the last part of the discussion of the first section that there is an infrastructure problem in Greece and a framework problem in order to attract high-value tourists and a bigger number of tourists from China. So I think we can discuss here in this section ideas of cooperation on investment between the two countries in order to improve the infrastructure on our coastal, on our coasts. Greece is a country with thousands of miles of coasts, beautiful coasts, but we as a country are underdeveloped in this section. We are much more underdeveloped than Spain, than France, countries that mentioned in the first panel of the conference today. So I think Mr. Kamarinakis is the next presentation. I put some ideas on the table for the discussion and we see how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Just a few words from me. I think that, as you mentioned, Greece and China have already, let's say, established very close connection and cooperation. And the beginning was with Costco, which had a concession with the port of Piraeus. And this concession was very successful, not only because it has now, the port of Piraeus has a much bigger traffic of container ships, but also because it is approved from the Greek society, and people believe that with China and Greek cooperation can do many more things. And also, of course, you know that we are expecting the Prime Minister of China to come and visit here Greece in a few days. And I think that there are a lot of sectors that can be established for cooperation, not only the port of Piraeus, because also you know that Costco has now offer for the total port of Piraeus the bid, and we are in the process of this bid to be in the second phase now, but also I think that there are so many other opportunities to make investments because as you mentioned, Greece has so many nice islands and coasts, and of course the island of Santorini is very well known now in China because there was a television show, I think, that showed how beautiful it is. And so we are expecting more investments from China, as just also we can say that Greece can help China, Greece to be the gate of China in the European Union. This I wanted to say. I think that is a good momentum to improve our cooperation, and I think in the future we have more nice meetings from the chamber of the Greek-China Association Chamber, Mrs. Bletas. And also, I think that good also aspect for investments is the airport section. And that's why I think that also the Prime Minister of China, they are going together with the Greek Prime Minister to Crete to see, it's not only Athens, but they are going also to visit Crete. And this means a lot of things, I think, and I hope. So thank you very much.
Thank you. In order to open more the discussion and to see many ideas on how to attract more Chinese investment and tourists in Greece, I think through investment we can actually use investment from China in order to make Greece more known to the Chinese, to the high-level Chinese people, tourists and businessmen, to the high level of the Chinese society and to the Chinese society in general. For example, if we have taken advantage the visit by the Chinese Prime Minister, who I assume will be accompanied by investors and businessmen, we can discuss with them and we can try to explore the possibilities of the Chinese to invest money in our coasts to build the hotels that we lack, like the Four Seasons, like the Saratons, all these famous hotels that we lack in Greece, and to build, to help us with investments and build ports in our islands that can deck big ships for cruises. For example, I know that we have beautiful islands. I have an example that because I spent a lot of time there the last few years because of my wife's family. In Kos, it's a beautiful island in the Dodecanese, but Kos cannot host big cruise ships because the port doesn't have this ability. It happens to many other islands in Greece, and I think we have to push hard for investment in this type of constructions in order to attract much more, many more tourists and many more high-level tourists. Also, we have to change our mentality, in my opinion. As a country and as a society, we faced recently a setback in coastal development with the difficulties we have to pass the law that the government proposed. Now is in freeze in order to find probably more open political environment, and that we can do through education. And in that, I think we can all of us, we can help the businessman, the media, my type of work. We have to start working hard in order to educate the Greek people and make sure that they understand that the development of the coasts and the maritime of Greece can be done with respect to the environment, respect to the culture, and at the same time help Greece to get out of this Rocky Mountain period in our economy. So I say these words in order to open more discussion. What's next? You want to say something?
Always I have to say something. I have always said something. Look, it is. I think the question of investments regarding the having a discussion of investments between Greece and China. This is a very important topic. Beside the funding issues that Mr. Lavru described, I think, correctly, and beside also the other things that Apostolos Kamarinopoulos said, I can here speak about hours regarding the legal framework of investments in Greece. We had, I don't remember, I don't know how many of you was also in the previous discussion, but discussing about lack of infrastructure in Greece. This is a very once again discussion with two different phases. Yes, indeed, we have some lacks in the infrastructure. By the other side, we have also to be honest with everybody that the infrastructure in Greece is much better than in most of the countries that you described. Even if the number of hotels and the kind of hotels and second houses in Greece that are much more or less than in Spain, Italy, or Portugal, the infrastructure in the land in Greece is in a very good shape, also in comparison with these countries. Greece has a big disadvantage, which is in the same time a big advantage of the country. Greece is the only country in the middle, in the Mediterranean, that more or less the 50% of our coastal line and the 50% of our land is islands in the middle of the sea. This makes a little bit more difficult the access on the islands, and it is a little bit more difficult to access all these touristic resorts, because to access the islands in the summer is easy because we have a lot of ships, not a lot, but enough ships to bring the people that are needed on the islands. In the same time, the most of these ships they are not having financial successful over 12 years because of the lack of passengers in the winter time, and this contains difficulties on the issue of approaching the islands. Greece has a lot of advantages, and I can speak here about 2 hours about the advantages of Greece. Greece is a member of the European Union. Greece is a member of the Eurozone. This may be a little bit more expensive than other competitors as Northern Africa or Turkey, but we are less expensive as other competitors as Italy or Spain. This is plus and minuses that everybody has to contain if he makes his plan to have an investment. Because the most of the people that are sitting here in this room, they are speaking about middle investments and not very big investments. This is much more easy for them to understand that Greece has the potential, and Greece can offer a lot of opportunities, not only because we are meeting the prices, what means that the prices are much more attractive as it was 5 years ago, but also because the potential of the visitors in Greece, and I mean not only the Chinese visitors but also the visitors of the rest of the world, present a very good opportunity for tourist business in Greece. I think, and I will conclude my introduction like that. I think that the history shows that investments that they have been done in Greece over the last 3-4 years was the most of them that were successful. Not only in the logistic as Costco, Apostolos Kamarinakis has already mentioned, but also in renewable energy, and also some some housing projects that some Chinese has already begun. I think one or two of them they are already completed. In Greece, they was also successful. They gives the path for everybody who wants to come in Greece and invest his money and his future in this interesting country. The last word will be regarding the framework that we have in Greece. We try to improve our framework. We have a lot to do before us, but we are much more. We have improved ourselves over the last 3-4 years. We still do not have land register, what makes difficulties, but we hope that over the next years we will have also the land register that we need, and this will solve a lot of problems that investors will have in Greece. But Greece is interesting, Greece is here, the potential is here, and I'm very confident that everybody who wants to invest his money and his future in Greece will succeed.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Michael.
Yeah. Because when I was working in the commercial office of Chinese embassy, I participated, in some decision making. I mean, I was commissioned to draft the feasibility report for coast-to-coast investment in the port. I participated, take part of the job. I remember vividly what I have given to the ambassador. That time I say, no, this is not the country for us to buy a port here, no way. Why? This is the country, you see, even the big Greek ship owners, they don't do any serious long-term plan. And this port will be a hot potato for us, okay? Kind of like that, because the FDI, foreign direct investment, at that time, 2006, 2005, 2004, it's not that pleasant. I mean, you see continuous fleeing of foreign direct investment they devised from Greece. So I remember at that time that was my report. Of course, the decision was named as something beyond my understanding. It's a strategic decision to invest in Greece to acquire, to rent that port, leasing for 40 years or whatever it is. Why I mention this is like today I have been confronted or questioned the same way. I have a small, let's say, I'm working for this company. It's renewable energy. Okay, Liwei is one of the top 10 photovoltaic companies, solar panels. The reason I've been based in Athens is like we see the opportunities to take advantage of the incentives given by the Greek government. 2012, I was here. I was sent back to Athens to do a co-investment of 40 megawatt in Greece with a British fund, and eventually I vetoed the project by myself. I told my boss, look, the country rate is still out of control. Okay, meanwhile, I consult another Chinese company who realized 30 megawatt in Greece. I told them, no, I don't think this is the timing for us. And it's proven that we are right. Later on, a retrospective cut of feed-in tariff has been, as everyone expected, done by the Greek government, and the investors suffer a loss. And nowadays, 2014, okay, now I'm consulting Chinese individual investors to acquire the real property so they can have the resident permit. And I've been questioned constantly. They always ask me, Michael, after acquiring the property, after getting the green card, do I have any other opportunities to do further investment? Okay, that's a question raised to me. And they always ask me, what business do you think we can make money in that country except spending holidays, spending money there? Okay, and they always, because whenever I promote Greece in China, I always tell them, look, there are two pillars. One pillar is tourism, another pillar, shipping industry. So if you want to do any further investment, you must try to be connected with those two pillars so that you can make money in Greece. But actually, whenever I've been asked specifically, do you have any projects to recommend? I was like always dumbfounded. Say, let me think about it. Okay, let me think about it. How we can contribute. How you can, how to say, dance with the shareholders or got any opportunities to realize investment, because they are so eager to do this kind of investment. I reviewed thoroughly about this report. I tabled your report to circulate it among my advisors for stock exchange in my Chinese circles. I got some feedback, which we're going to discuss next week. But I do see the opportunity in this. First of all, in rates, and second, related to real estate. And third is, how to say, after brainstorming with some clients, some consultants, they say, look, education or training, like this kind of service industry's investment. For example, do you think we can open a school in Greece, providing the training of sailors or for the yacht, how to drive a yacht, how to manage a yacht or cruisers, because you are shipping, you're supposed to have a strong shipping industry. So this kind of opportunities, can we enter or join hands with the Greek entrepreneurs? Another is like, if Greece is that strong in terms of the tourism industry, do you think we can create some opportunities for investment? For example, training center or school for tourism, for waiters, for catering, for hotel management. Why don't we do something in those two fields? And now I'm still trying to tap the opportunity to see if there is any big opportunities or possibility to do in those two fields. Okay. That's it.
This was a very interesting introduction, but I ask always myself what is interested and what is a good investment. Everybody will say that a good investment is an investment with a high return. Someone will say something else, but we can spend a lot of days discussing what is a good investment. As I was very, very young, it was the first years in my business life, I met a guy, his name is John Merritt. Is one of the brothers that they own the big chain of Marriott hotels. And we have a discussion about opportunities, about in that time also about Greece and all the other things. And the end of the discussion, he told me, you know, Aris, if I had had my consultants, today I had 0 hotels in my life. We have to understand two different things. The one thing is what the consultant says, and the other thing is what the business people says. The business people, and this is much more important in strange businesses as the shipping business. The Onassis the big Onassis used to say, you can have money, you can have time, you have good advisors, you have the banks with you, you have whatever you want. Just give me a little bit of luck, and I will earn the world. Look, of course, everything is nice, and we have to see the figures, and we have to discuss about figures, about strategies, but investments are not figures, are not strategies. Investments are courage of investors. Investments are opportunities that are around. And investments are, look, I'm not a businessman, I'm also consulting, but investments at the end of the day is the willingness of people to invest their life in businesses. This is the poor reality in the end of the day. And if you speak about the cut of the feed-in tariffs in Greece, you are right. The feed-in tariffs in the renewable energy are in Greece cut over the last 2 years more than 35%. But I can't tell you, my friends, the feed-in tariffs in Greece is still the highest in Europe. And there is no business there is no real business in the renewable energy. Also with the cutted feed-in tariffs over 35%, they don't make more than 10% per year. If you tell me another business that makes 10% per year, sorry, then tell me that I can change my business.
I totally agree with you.
That's why I said always, what I'm trying to say always, to investors, to friends, in discussions, in such kind of discussions, is that always there are two sides of the coin. Don't forget that. But I don't say that to protect this country, and I don't say to protect the people of this country. What we did in this country over the last years is really remarkable. I do not believe that other people could reach what we have done over the last 5 years than the Greeks. And believe me, I don't believe that the Greeks is the better people in the world. I don't believe it. But believe me that what this country has done over the last years is really remarkable. And I really believe that there are opportunities in this country. And also I have to say that also the legislation we made progress. We have the new legislation about the green cards or the permanent visa for people who invest in real estate. We have the fast track law, we have investment law with many benefits for investors. We have a lot of opportunities. My job is not to count the opportunities. Here you can go in our website. You can read that it's better. You can read it better than I can tell you here in this room. But in the end of the day, this is the reality. If someone has the courage to invest in this country, in the end of the day, he will make his life. Ask your people that live in this country for more than 40 years, and they made their life. This is the reality. And we can discuss as long we want. We can change the objectives. We can change the angle that we discuss about different issues. But this is the reality. And the reality is still that Greece, after 5 years in recession, after so many problems, after an unemployment under which to suffer this country, Greece is still in the third and 30 richest countries in the world. Sorry, this is the reality also.
I'm very glad to hear that. I use this to convince my potential investors to come to Greece to buy a property to invest here. Not only property, but the winery, olive tree orchard. Okay, try to open the school. That's something I totally agree with you.
And regarding projects, a lot of projects, public projects and private projects, and everybody is looking for good partners. But you have to think Greece is not a distressed country. The people they come in Greece thinking that Greece is a distressed country, they make a mistake, because Greece is not a distressed country. And you can ask the people in the stock exchange if Greece is a distressed country. The people they think that Greece is distressed because the values are going down. But to say that the country is distressed, the last thing that you have to see is the prices of the real estate. See how the banking system is working. See how the stock exchange is working. Tell me, Mr. Love, is one indicator in your stock exchange that says that Greece is a distressed country? One indicator. No.
Then maybe this is a problem, because...
Yeah, because the people they think,
I
Mrs. Bletcher,
agree.
the people they think that they come in a distressed country. You know, let's speak in the reality. There is a hotel in Athens. There is a hotel in Athens. What I will tell now, it is a real example. This hotel, the value of the hotel in 2008 was 180 millions. 180 millions. Today, regarding the prices and regarding the turnover of the hotel has not a value more than 70 millions. That means that it has a discount of more than 55%. But this does not mean that it's a distressed asset.
I completely agree.
This is the problem.
The problem is that we live here and we know that people that live abroad get information from TV news, newspaper news, and get the idea that we are a distressed country. And I encounter that every time I travel abroad. Michael can also tell you that. We have to persuade people we are not a distressed country. And this is a marketing issue, a communication issue eventually. Because living here, we know the reality. The fact is that we have to let other people also understand this reality.
Our public
That's
discussion
why I try to do
doesn't
it.
correspond very well
Yes,
outside
we have
of
a bad
Greece.
image abroad, and that is not,
We are responsible.
doesn't coordinate what is the reality here in the country, of course.
It's not a question of it's not a question of the image. It's a question of the perspective, and it's a question on the way that you describe things. It's not a question of the image. I'm traveling a lot. I'm traveling a lot around the world for business and for other reasons. Yeah, and the reality is, if you speak with people that they have something in the reality in their head, they know that it's a different country.
Okay, but
this is,
sorry for. I try to coordinate, but I have to.
Yeah, please. I told you I
to,
speak too much.
no. I have to express my opinion right now. Let's say that because I agree completely with Mrs. Bernick here. Let's say that someone outside of Greece listens to our public discussion, like in the parliament 2 days ago, like what we express abroad every day. If we listen, our political leaders sometimes say that Greece is a destroyed country, and they say that when they go to Brussels, when they meet with foreign officials. And when we express, image is not very important, I agree with you, compared to reality, but this is what we express most of the time outside of Greece. So how we can expect people in China and in other countries that they want to invest in Greece, when they listen and they see this picture every day, to feel comfortable to invest?
But sorry. Do you really believe that the people in China, they're sitting in the TV and they look in the Greece?
No.
They don't know that Greece is existing.
Okay, but the
Sorry,
investors,
that Greece is a country that is smaller than the middle city in China. Do you really believe that the people in China think to see in the news what happened in Athens?
Let's ask someone from the Chinese side.
And sorry that I'm so excited, but this is our view of the things. We believe that they are middle of the world.
Please.
I know that.
Let's ask Chinese counterpart.
Maybe Aris, maybe I can give some view.
Yeah.
It's not Greece is small, China is big. But just because when you see China, you also read about China and Chinese from the news, from the TV. And also you heard a lot of rumors in China, like we have something in Tibet, something in Xinjiang, something, a lot of political things and economic things, and also climate things. But this is what normally in China there is a saying: the bad words spread very faster, much faster. Yeah, this also happens in Greece. It's the same. So you cannot expect the Chinese or other people from other world they will know the real Greece from the media or from your own reports. This is impossible. The only thing you can see 30 years ago, China also started to invite the foreign investment in China. By that time, you can imagine 30 years ago how China is look like, especially in your impression. But why the foreigners they went to China and they invest, and in almost 40 years we have developed a lot. The only way I think it is only you, if you are an investor, you go to China, you see the real China, and then you see the potential. You can clear your mind to say, okay, this is not the real thing, and then also this is only the temporary thing. So you can judge what is the future of this place. Like if I go to Shanghai, in the east of Shanghai, 30 years ago that is only countryside, but now it's a big city. It's very fast. It's the first free trade zone in China. So like in Greece, it's the same. So I think if you want the investment come into Greece, the only way is to invite the foreign investors come into Greece, and then that show them, tell them what is the real things. So like you said, we are living in Greece, so we know what Greece is like. So only they come here, they live here, they stay here, they talk to you, and then they see everything by themselves. They will know the real Greece. I think this is the only way, not the media, not the reports. Yeah. I think this happens both to Greece and China. It's not only about Greece. Yeah, just the opinion from Chinese.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said.
You are right.
Okay, so it seems that the Chinese people start to take the floor now. Actually, whatever you have discussed just now is really, how to say, informative. And plus, you know, this male element, right? Yeah, just added. It's good. So now let's draw everybody's attention back to this seminar, okay? We talk about education, training, and okay. So as I'm the director for the Business Confucius Institute, so I need to tell you a little history about our institute. So I came here in 2009, and my friends started calling me from China, say, Ivy, what happened? After you arrived in Athens, things become a little bit negative. You know, the reports a little bit negative. I said, come on, it's not my fault. So actually, what I have done is opposite. So from 2009, after our institute opened, of course, with the strong support of ASOE, and the strong support of my home university in China, UIBE. Of course, our top boss is the Ministry of Education of China. We have managed many good activities. To do what? Just now, all the gentlemen here discussed about problems in the past and how strategically we failed to do something. But actually, what I am concerned is what we can do today. Forget about the past, okay? So what we are doing today as my institute, you know, for the governments, okay, they are trying hard, but that depends on the politicians, right? What they are having or the plan. But for our institute, because for these 4 years, I personally tried to push the people-to-people interaction. Therefore, to open the door of race to Chinese people. I talked to the previous ambassador, Mr. Luo, here in race. He strongly supported our institute to do what? To do the promotion work. He felt very sorry for so good products in race, so good people, and a so close relationship between China and Greece. This is not sufficiently spread to China. So this is the sorry thing. So therefore, I think for us today, we should stress on the, how to say, the strong points of what we have to sell for Greece to China, such a big market. Okay, not about the past policy, not about the past, you know, some failed policies, but about what we are doing today. For example, Austria, Vienna. Vienna, I went there many times. I feel they are very, very good at commercial promotion. Only one Mozart. They sell Mozart, centuries. They sell Mozart chocolate, Mozart, you know, souvenirs, Mozart everything. So Now, if we are here, we are really concerned about the strong product of Greece. Do we have Acropolis chocolate? No, we don't have. Do we have, Santorini T-shirt or some products? Not much, right? So think of this. We don't think too much. Just look at around us. Not many products. You go to Italy, every site, people standing in queues, in lines, waiting to spend 20 minutes inside to say, but here, in Athens, you feel that you are in Finland, you are in Denmark, you are in some place where there's no commercial ads. Because always, so that means for tourists ourselves, we are very, very insufficient in our own products promotion. So very, very incompetitive among Australia or the other, tourist hotspots. So therefore, for BCI, because personally I'm not, linguist or what, I'm more like an economist. So after I came here, I started to look at this country from the marketing, from the commercial way. So I found there's a big problems. The strong point here is tourists, but what you have done? Okay, so today we are here. I would like to draw everybody's attention to see what we can do through your hands, not through your lips. Everybody talking too much. But what we can do for BCI, I'm very proud of my BCI because in 2011, 2012, 2013, this year, I have, joined with Liwei, successfully organized 3 sessions of business conference between China and Greece. Of course, with Elena Stamo, her company also in strong support of us. So by this, we're trying to do what? Bring people to China, like Kevin said, to look at Greece with your own eyes. Don't listen to the media. And also for our contribution is every year we try to select the best Chinese speakers, the Greek natives, to China to study. So until now, we have already recommended at least 40 young people from Greece who can speak Chinese to China, to Chinese big universities to study. This is a very, very actual, or we say practical contribution. Whatever we do, we need talented people. We need people who understand Chinese culture, Greek culture, to contribute to the 2 countries' interaction. So now, can you imagine, before our institute established, there are some Greek people who can speak Chinese, but not to that high level. But now, we have educated, trained in our university, very high level, Greek young people who can speak good Chinese. Why this? Because we have this demand. We have, for me, almost every week, I received phone calls from companies, from travel agencies, asking for me to recommend somebody who can speak Greek, Chinese, or maybe English. So there's a big need for this. So I think talking about tourism, including this part, we need personnel, we need local people to help. When the Chinese people come here, however high level income, low level income, they need to see a smiling face, to see somebody to say 你好 in Chinese, and then they would feel at home. So this, I think, is my institute. We have contributed. And so I think that if we can sit down and create some ideas, these ideas very practical, not talking, not criticizing. I'm here 4 years. Many times people knocking at my door and come inside. I can be sitting there for 1 hour, 2 hours, listening to his talk. Everybody is a philosopher. Everybody is a specialist for the Greek crisis. Miss Yang, what is the problem? Let me tell you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 hour, I listened to him talking. So finally I said, okay, actually mass education, this is an important thing. Everybody ignored this. Look at the TV in Sky, in Star, or all this TV. You can see how pure Greek is away from this commercial world. So Chinese, TV full of, commercial things, talking about tourism. So in Greek TV, always talk, right, between politicians. And have you ever seen some beautiful advertising for, I think this is what the government should do, to promote the good historical relics from Greece. So from my view, it's not individual persons' efforts, it's the government. The state should put more. So Mr. Ioannis, again, tell the minister to do something. Actually, you see, to put the fund in the actual world, to promote the action, not just the lip service. So many conferences in China, no use. Conference. I talked to Mr. Manolis in China, who is the minister counselor of the Greek embassy. He's very busy. He's doing the promotion work all the time. Yes, this is very good. It's not enough compared to France, to the States, New Zealand, what they are doing in China. It's a state behavior. It's not individual person. So if we do this, for my part, I'm trying to do people to people, very local. I provide the talents. So if you need any, Chinese-speaking young people, come to me. I can help you. But the thing is, for the image, for the positive information, right? For the strength, we need not only people's individual, efforts, the government. So how we can push the government to make good use of Chinese leaders' high concern and interest in Greece. I think that is the point. So we can provide some good solution. So with a small fund, to make Greek wine, overtake French wine, New Zealand wine, Chile wine to become the top wine. But they have to be said yes by the rich groups, the high-level groups. So I have some Chinese exporters here of Chinese wine. They are very capable. So the local Chinese here, they are really, excellent people. They go back to their city and they talk to the mayor how nice the wine is. And then 2 years ago, the mayor would call to every, department, say that, okay, only buy and drink Greek wine. This is what happened in a local city. At that time, the mayor can't do this. But now, I think they cannot, because wine completely, listed as something with luxury consumption in China. We are not, the government cannot allow this. But look at this. If individual people can do this, why the government fails? In this part, it's a failure of the government. So, talking about training, education, I think the whole image, the whole opinion should be, I hope this year is a critical point to have a more sensible government. Mr. Ioannis Donaros is very nice. He's in China and people like him so much. Really, I'm telling you the truth. People like him. So we would like more ministers, right? To know the facts and to do the right thing. Okay. So. I hope I'm not talking too much.
If I might say something for your attention. I think speaking of investments and innovation and education, as you said, what we can take out of this discussion is that tourism development and blue tourism development is an issue that is of crucial importance for the Hellenic economy. And to have good standard tourism development, we need to focus on infrastructure investments. And to focus on infrastructure investments, we also need to focus on education and have people well-educated and require people to realize these investments. And this is a circle that is interrelated in education, investment, tourism. And we have to develop this chain to be able to increase the possibility in the tourism sector. This is what I understand from this discussion.
I would like to add something following the positive momentum that introduced from your side. Actually, we are here not to convince a possible investor to invest in Greece. We are here to show alternatives, to demonstrate possible tools. We are here to open the toolkit that is available to the international investing community. In order to have a long-term relation, it is necessary to have the two sides, the buy side and the sell side, happy now and in the future. There are opportunities, of course, but there is a sequencing problem. Maybe at this point of time, maybe the indirect investments, that is an honest workaround of the Hellenic, let's say, system that has some institutionally deficits. Indirect investment could come first before the direct investment, because the deadly touch of a foreign investor with the Greek system will create a lot of problems and create some disappointment. So, even an international investor wants to take an exposure to the turnaround and development story of the Greek economy. They can use the indirect through the listed funds, project bonds, whatever financial engineering are proposing to get access to this turnaround story. We are here to show all these alternatives.
To interrupt you, I have a great idea. Actually, I want to talk with you next week, but I can say now, it's like, look, if this, how to say, derivative or bond or whatever it is, can be linked with that third country citizen resident permit, I think I will be very glad to promote in China immediately. It's like right now you confine the investment only to real estate property. If it can include also bond, or treasury bond, or derivative or bond like this, it will be much more welcome, I'm afraid, in China. I give you another example, Hungary. Hungary project, I mean, for also the similar resident permit program is so popular. This year, it's going to attract 1,000 Chinese families. It's just like if you buy 250,000 euro treasury bond, or how to say, the bond of Hungarian government, you will be granted with how to say, a permanent resident permit in Hungary. People are how to say, crazy about this. So that's my idea here. I'm thinking of this, if we can persuade or lobby the government to do the same. Greece is much more competitive than Hungary, for sure.
And also I would like to, my perception is that all the Chinese people that is sitting here could be the evangelist of our case. We have to compete as a European developed country, well developed in institutional terms. We have some difficulties in financial issues that the political system creates some problems in the past, but now we are in a position to show all the abilities, all the possibilities that the people incorporate in their education the land, the climate. The idea is to compete as a well-developed European country. We don't want to compete as a country with low labor cost. And if you look around us, for example, in this room, the Greek people are very, very compatible in appearance, in knowledge, in education, in arguments, in the standing, generally speaking, as a well-developed people. And what I'm asking from the Chinese people in this room is to become the evangelist of this situation in abroad. We have some difficulties in terms of financial issues, but we will overcome very, very quick because we are a very flexible nation. We're convinced that we have to change our route, okay, and we believe that in long-term cooperation and a win-win cooperation, because win-win is a prerequisite factor for the long term, for the sustainable development. This is our view.
There's very, very practical issue nowadays. We forget about 2 years ago. Last year, the Ministry of Finance, or the government announced this 250,000 euros property investment issue. It seems something only happened yesterday. So if we look at this channel for Greek government's good heart to welcome this 250,000 euros property investment, so what is the story? If we do a survey today, all the Chinese potential investors, those people who can really put the money here to buy this property, if we interview them one by one, are you satisfied? Are you happy with the approach of the government? Are you happy with the procedures? Are you happy with the bank, with the legislation, with the papers about the visa issue? I'm sure the answer is no. So what happens? What happens? Good wish, good heart from Greek government, I know they fight, maybe had the fight against the other, authorities for opening this door to Chinese investment. But what is the story? Do you know? Nambro, do you know? You don't know. Chinese people not happy because there are so many restrictions on the money issue, money transfer issue, on the visa issue. So people talk too much. Like you said, handsome people, very good looking, good heart, but many points, many connections, the government failed to reach. So the law is here, investment, you carry the money here, because my friend is here. He will be here in 1 week time. I feel panic for him because he said, I bring the money here. I want to finish this investment and the property, exchange for a residence permit. Within 12 days, I was panicking because this will never happen. So what happened? What happened? Good heart. It's for the, it's not something about the past. It's today's issue. So what happened? What's wrong? If you put money in the bank, the bank will ask you, papers, all the papers. Show that your money is Chinese. China is different from another country. For example, I'm here, working here. I don't get salary locally. Who paid me? My government. So my government paid me including my tax. So the tax, for example, is deducted from my salary directly. And then the bank may ask me, go back, show us your tax list. My God, I'm here. Go back to whom? To our president to see, I want to look at my income tax pay list. I don't have this. So this is a headache. Because for this, I have to go to a certain place and this, because it's not a Western country. The system is different. Talking about papers, I heard recently, sorry, Michael, I think you know better. Sorry, the paper still, there's some restriction, and there's one authority which hasn't given the green light.
So people having this 250,000 euros here, waiting outdoor and say, okay, I'm coming. Your investment law is here. I'm coming with the money. And always there are some authorities here closing the door. No, wait, we are not open to you yet. Even the prime minister, even the financial minister said this, welcome. So the issue is like this. So all Chinese people know that we are so friendly countries to each other. But do you know, to Chinese people, this country, the door is closed too tight. It's difficult to knock at the door and to squeeze inside. It's really difficult. So have you ever imagined this? So this, for me, I've been here for 4 years, therefore actually my heart is for both for China and for Greece. I don't have a clear boundary. My love really for two countries. So I feel I'm crying inside. I said, oh my God, do you really need investment or not? Mm-hmm. If you really investment, bank, customs office, all those concerned departments should give green light all together in one night. Everything's there, fixed. But here...
Did you take this clearance in one night in Germany? No.
Okay, 1 month.
No, because there's the European restrictions. Sorry, if you want to create another country, we can do it. But this is another discussion once again. The restrictions on which you mentioned, sorry, because the restrictions that you mentioned are restrictions applied to European Union. The same restrictions are in Germany, the same restrictions are in England, the same restrictions are in Portugal, the same restrictions are in Spain. Sorry. We can change our country if you want. I have no problem on that. I have no problem on that. But remember also, sorry to be so exciting, but I remember as 2.5 years before, the Greek government asked the Chinese government to buy bonds, the Chinese government denied. Sorry.
Let me give you another example.
No, you can give me a lot of examples.
One of my clients,
you can give me a lot of examples.
Okay, he has put €500,000 in the escrow account of law firm. Okay, he tried to get the D visa from Guangzhou consulate. He, together with his 7-year-old son, 17-year-old daughter, tried to get D visa. And the first interview, he was rejected because he said the consulate general told him, look, your 7-year-old boy needs a criminal lease record, okay?
The criminal.
Criminal lease record. You have to go back to get it. So he go back to the public authority of Chinese authority, and it was rejected because they cannot approve a 7-year-old boy criminal lease record. So anyway, by any means he get it, he will go back. He go back to the Guangzhou consulate. This time he said, this 50-year-old gentleman needs a vaccine to prove that he will not have the crippled legs like the baby.
For every story you can tell, I can tell you 2 stories.
Yes.
Yeah. This is not the way to proceed. We can discuss and we can tell stories from both sides for things that are not working and things that are working. But this is not the way for proceed. The way to proceed is to find solutions.
Yes.
If you
First of all, have to find the problem, then you find the solution. Otherwise, the solution
This is what I told you 2 hours ago. This is my words 2 hours ago. But find a solution. Because once again, for every story you tell to me, I can tell you 2 stories. But this is not the way to proceed. Sorry.
I think the discussion became very lively. So I don't know if someone from the audience here wants to participate or have a question for the people at the table.
Take a break.
We can take a break.
We can take a break right now.
Yes.
Continue later.
Financing.